Hello, hello, hello. I'm Sharon Taylor, CEO and founder of the Business Vision and Development Center. Let's chat. What's the tea? We're talking all things business. Are self doubts holding you back from entrepreneurial success? In this video, I'll share some proven strategies to build unshakable confidence and transform your mindset. Learn how to silence your inner critic, take bold action, and unlock your full potential as an entrepreneur. There were times when I wondered why I didn't get the contract, why someone didn't answer an email, or why the phone wasn't ringing. That's normal, but don't fall for the trap of quitting. Quitting is not an option. You've come too far. Self doubt is a common entrepreneurial, I was going to say tragedy, but challenge, but both a tragedy and a challenge. So let's talk about some strategies. Uh, just to let you know, these bangs are getting on my last nerve. But anywho, let's get started on some strategies to shut that negative self talk down, to bring up your confidence and get rid of self doubt. Trust me, I know. As long as I've been in business and as long as I've been doing this, I still have moments when I wake up and say, am I going to do this another day? And then the next day comes, and then I say, wow, I got me a contract. I got a new client, and off to the races I go. So just know, first of all, that is normal. So the first strategy I want to talk about is reframing negative self-talk. And in order to do that, you need to recognize those destructive thought patterns. I always tell people, when you talk negatively to yourself, is this something that you would tell your best friend, your children? Treat yourself as your best friend. Always say things that are encouraging and positive. So you need to recognize these destructive thought patterns. And some of the common ones include assuming the worst possible outcome. I can't tell you the amount of times that I thought the world was going to blow up or my head was going to catch fire or whatever it was. We have a tendency as human beings to just expect the worst. And then the next day comes and the world didn't blow up, my hair didn't catch on fire. So when assuming the worst possible outcome, stop doing that. Another way to reframe your negative self talk is to stop doing the imposter syndrome thing, feeling like a fraud. This is a destructive thought pattern. You may feel like you fooled everybody to get to where you are. You're at the top of the chain, and people are going to find out that you're an imposter. Nobody's checking for you. As long as you are doing what you are supposed to be doing and offering the services and products that you said you were, nobody's looking into your past. So don't doubt yourself. Another reframing of negative self talk is over generalization, where you think one failure means total inadequacy. Well, I dropped the ball on that. Guess I can't do this again. Let me tell you, I was in a meeting with a school. They had the board, the principal, some educators, and I didn't get the contract. But I didn't, I was upset initially, but I just said to myself, this is just one no. One no in a sea of yeses. So don't overgeneralize things because there's always the next moment, the next hour, the next day, the next week. So keep that in mind as you have challenges along the way. And also, I want you to reframe thinking it's all or nothing thinking, perfection or complete failure. There is no such thing as perfection. Do the best that you can because perfection is going to look different to everybody. Somebody may say a comma shouldn't go there. Somebody may say use red instead of blue. You have to be able to compromise, pivot, or stick to your guns when it comes to entrepreneurship because everybody's going to have an opinion. Now, I want to give you some techniques for challenging those negative beliefs. First, you got to identify that negative thought. When it hits you, say, I see you. I see you there. I see you, negativity. And then challenge its validity. You may have to break it down into pieces. Does this really make sense? Is it true that I'm a failure? Is this one thing going to cause my business to fail? So you need to challenge the validity of your negative belief. And you need to replace that with balanced, evidence-based perspective. Look at your past challenges and see how you've overcome them and know that you can do it again. Also, practice self-compassion. Don't beat up on yourself. That's not going to help you. All that is going to make you go further into your self-doubt. So practice self-compassion the same way you would with a best friend or someone you love. About things that you can do, an exercise to show a evidence-based thinking. You can create a 2-column thought journal. You know, I'm big on journals. Left column, your negative thought, right column, objective evidence. For example, the negative thought could be, I'll never succeed as an entrepreneur. First of all, never say that to yourself, because what you say becomes reality. So the negative thought, I'll never succeed as an entrepreneur. And the evidence that you're going to do in the right column is talk about or write about your past achievements, the skills you've acquired, the obstacles you've overcome. Trust and believe. I started out in 1993. I have come a long way and I've learned a lot along that way. And yes, I've overcome some obstacles. So I've become a better entrepreneur. I've learned some things. And so that's my evidence that I can succeed because my doors are still open. Okay. Let's talk about strategy number 2, which is setting realistic incremental goals. So we talked about SMART goal technique on some of our other social media platforms this week because December is all about setting goals for 2025. So what are SMART goals? They're specific, which means they're clearly define what you want to achieve. They're measurable. They create concrete criteria for measuring progress. They're achievable. So you need to set challenging but attainable goals. They're relevant, so they align with the goals of your broader business objectives. And they're time bound, which you establish clear deadlines. So those are SMART goals. I'm telling you, with these vines, next time you see me, they may be cut up to here. Let's move on with setting realistic incremental goals. So create a goal breakdown strategy that includes your long-term vision, your annual goals, quarterly objectives, monthly targets, and weekly actions. This allows you to break things down into bite-sized pieces so that you're not overwhelmed. Also, develop a visual goal tracking system like charts. I fall short on this because I'm not a pie chart girl. I'm not a chart girl. But it for those of you who like, and I'm sure there are lots of project tracking systems and platforms out there that you can use. I believe it is a good tool so that you can just see right away where you are with your goals. So I'm gonna look into it. If I see something that I really like, I'll come back to you and share it with you. And then you can use digital tools or physical goal tracking journals. And my way is writing. But the thing about writing in a journal is that I got to keep flipping back and forth to see what I said and where I am and where I'm going. So, think about using a tracking system. And I also want you to be your own cheerleader by implementing momentum building approaches. I'm in a reward system for goal completion. I don't care what it is. If it's more chocolate, more ice cream, going shopping, do something to celebrate a goal completion. And document and celebrate small wins. So go on your social media and talk about what you did. Celebrate your small win because you never know who needs to see that all things are possible. And aligned with that is share your achievements with a supportive network. I was part of a network a while ago, but each meeting started with us going around the room to talk about our win for the week or the month or, whenever the meeting was held. And it was just the energy that is set into motion when a supportive network helps you celebrate your win. It's just mind-boggling to me. You say what what your win was. We all clap, we ask questions, all of that, and it just builds a momentum for the group or network that you're aligned with. Strategy 3, develop a growth mindset. I'm all into mindset. I believe everything is based on mindset. What you think about becomes reality, focus, all of that. That's me in a nutshell. So I want you to develop a growth mindset. So let's talk about fixed versus growth mindsets. We're going to compare the two. So a fixed mindset believes abilities are static, avoids challenges, sees efforts as fruitless, and threatened by others' success. You do not want a fixed mindset. With a fixed mindset, you can't see opportunity. You don't know when to pivot because you're so set in doing something one way, and that way is the only way. The growth mindset is believing that abilities can be developed. It embraces challenges. It views effort as a path to mastery, it learns from criticism and finds inspiration in others' success. So it's two things that really sticks out to me about the growth mindset. When I see others succeed, I want to know their blueprint. How did they do it? What did they learn? What were the challenges? What's the next step? So I want you to be able to congratulate and learn from others' success. When it comes to criticism, and Lord knows there are going to be critics, there are going to be critics. Take it, look at it, and you may find that the criticism may be valid. You may be trying to sell a product or service that's for millennial to a seasoned person, and it may not work. So take the criticism, look at it for what it is, see if it's valid, and then make adjustments if you need to. That's how you develop a growth mindset. A growth mindset also uses failure as a learning opportunity. Reframe failures, or as I like to call them, challenges, as feedback mechanisms, necessary steps in learning, and opportunities for innovation. When you do have a challenge or a setback, do an analysis for each one. What worked? What didn't work? And what can be learned from that challenge? You always want to review, reset, regenerate, whatever the is in your life. Just don't take it, park it, and sulk in it. Something can be learned from everything that you do, whether it be positive or whether it be a challenge. Strategy number 4, I want you to build a supportive network. What I want you to know is that the Business Vision and Development Center is here. When I say we're your small business resource, turning ideas into entrepreneurship, that is what I mean. I don't care where you are in business. I don't care if it's just a thought, and I don't care if you got revenue going out the yin yang. You need to have a support network to toss ideas around, to be honest with you, to talk about strategies, look at how to move forward, how to build on what you already have. So these are some tips on network development strategies. When it comes to professional networking, attend industry conferences, join entrepreneurial associations, engage in online professional communities, and utilize LinkedIn and professional platforms. I know that LinkedIn sometimes gets a bad name or bad rep. And for our creatives, sometimes LinkedIn may not be your platform. But those of us like me who offer a service, LinkedIn is a good place to be. And if you need some help with navigating LinkedIn, of course, we are here. I also want you to consider finding mentors and support groups. When selecting a mentor, I want you to use some of this criteria. Proven success in your industry, a willingness to share knowledge, and aligned values and vision. You want your mentor to be aligned with you, but a few steps ahead of you or beyond you. And they have to have the same values and vision as you, because this is going to be someone that, as a mentor, you should meet with periodically. You should be able to toss ideas back and forth. and, gain some knowledge. But also, as you garner knowledge from them, they are also learning from you. It should be a two-way street, and they should be open to hearing what you have to say as well and values your opinion. And here are some support group benefits. You have shared experiences. You can get an accountability partner. You have diverse perspectives. You have emotional support. So I was working with Yvonne Lorraine, who did the coaching couch on my YouTube channel. And when I tell you, she provided emotional support for me and still does. We just don't do it on YouTube anymore. It's important that you have someone that can talk you off the ledge sometimes. So again, with your support group, you have shared experiences because it's hard to talk to somebody who has not been in the same shoes that you've been in. You want accountability. You want somebody to say to you, Sharon, you said you were going to do this in quarter two. Where are you? And what have you done? You also want diverse perspectives. There is no one answer to anything. You want to be able to look at the different perspectives and pick the one that suits you and your product and service. So, the strategy number 5, our last one, is continuous self-investment. I believe wholeheartedly in this, not just as an entrepreneur, but as a person in general. I love to learn things that are of interest to me. I'm not over there learning how to clip a bonsai tree because that's not of interest to me. But what I'm always learning is things in business, what's on the horizon, business vocabulary, business acumen, books on business. That's where I sit. And I also sit in the place of mindset, not just for my entrepreneurial journey, but for my life journey. So here are some personal development resources, some learning platforms, online courses. I have taken courses on ED, capital X. edX has some free courses. They have certification programs. They have all kinds of different courses that are taught by instructors that are well-renowned and universities well-renowned around the globe. So check out edX. I highly recommend it. It's self-paced. It gives you some homework, and you connect with people that are also taking that course. Some other personal development resources are skill-specific workshops. For me, I don't know how many business plan writing workshops I've attended. I always learn something new. And if it's not new, I'm sharpening my toolbox. So think about that when you are looking at workshops. And there's a lot of free ones out there. So you don't always have to pay. And when you say, oh, I already took that one, take it again and again and again and again, because most of the time we've checked out maybe 10 or 15 minutes on the workshop and may have missed something. Another thing I want you to think about is industry conferences. So for me, I haven't really attended any industry conference, although I have been to some small business networking sessions. And They're pretty good. You get at the end of the day, I've met some people and got some clients. And they also, another resource is webinars and virtual summits. I give webinars, I have virtual online learning. And when I do them, I learn from my own online learning. So consider taking webinars and virtual summits as well. Then another thing I want you to do is take the skill or industry improvement approach. So what does that mean? You have a regular learning schedule. You allocate budget for professional development, which you can write off, and you try different learning methods. And those methods are reading, online courses, podcasts, mentorship, and practical application. My way of learning is audiobooks. I love a good audiobook because I can listen to it while I'm driving, because I travel back and forth. I haven't really got into podcasts yet, but I keep saying I'm going to. I've signed up for some, haven't listened to any. And mentorship. I have a mentor who I just love dearly. And I sometimes follow her around like a little puppy. Shout out to Miss Deb Jones of Marshall Heights Community Development Organization. She's been my mentor for going on 7 years now. And I appreciate her tutelage. And boy, you talk about somebody with small business knowledge, somebody who gets out in the community and knocks on doors and knows the layout of the land for district government, nonprofits, all the things business. Mentorship with her has been amazing. So again, shout out Ms. Deb Jones, Marshall Heights Community Development Organization, Ward 7, Washington, D.C. Investment tracking. Well, tracking is not my strong suit, but here it goes anyway. Maintain a personal development portfolio. What I like about this is that it will come in handy when creating your business resume. When I take a course, when I get a certification, when I attend a workshop, whatever it is, I have a file with what it was, an overview, and the dates. So when I present my resume, I can pull from these different courses or things that I've attended and add them to my resume. And you need to set annual learning goals. That could be taking one online course a year, but you need to stay current in your industry. So that's important. And measure skill improvement and application. Were you able to apply what you learned in a tangible manner? I'm going to talk about that real quick. On EdX, I took a curriculum development course. This is when I was trying to get, and still am getting, into the school system, and I want to develop a curriculum for our youth to start their own business. I took that course, and I'm telling you, it was invaluable, valuable. Anyway, I took all the tools because you get to keep all the information. And I learned how to develop curriculum. I learned how to do a syllabus. I learned how to create KPIs, which are key performance indicators. I learned how to do testing, surveys, and it was free. It was a free course. So I implore you and encourage you to do a skill improvement, and apply what you learn in a tangible manner. So, in conclusion, here are the 5 strategies we talked about. Strategy 1, reframing negative self talk. Strategy 2, setting realistic incremental goals. Strategy 3, develop a growth mindset. Strategy 4, build a supportive network. And strategy 5, continuous self-investment. Remember, you are not the first entrepreneur to have self-doubt. But if you don't believe in yourself, why should anyone else? So step into it like a boss, and the rest will follow. There's this old saying, fake it until you make it. I believe that, because as I step into the entrepreneur, the boss that I want to be, your persona starts to fit that. And then as your persona fits that, the energy follows, and so many opportunities become available for you. So step into it like a boss, and the rest will follow. So to take the next steps, go to our website, www.thebvdcenter.org, and click Get Started so we can chat and talk all things business. I also want to say this to you, that feel free to chat with me. Every minute of my time is not a billable hour, because if you didn't know, I love to chat and I love to talk all things business. So at least have a little chat. Let's see what your strategy are. Then we can talk pricing after that. So don't forget, www.thebvdcenter.org. Click Get Started. We'll get you scheduled. You'll have a chat with me. And I want you to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss a thing. So remember, confidence is a skill you can develop. Start today and watch your entrepreneurial journey transform. And we will see you on the other side. Share and subscribe so you don't miss a thing.